Choux Racecourse, Hong Kong. I have to keep saying it to convince myself I'm actually lucky enough to be here. And it's one thing to be here for the Cathay Pacific International races this coming Sunday, regarded as the turf championships of the world. It's another to be following one of the leading chances in the Rich Mile, our five-time Group 1 hero, Jimmy Choux, who's looking to follow in the hoof steps of our Wondermere Sunline, who won the race back in 2000. And on this strip of turf behind me, that was where Jimmy Choux did his most serious track work leading up to the International Mile this morning, Wednesday morning. Might be winter here in Hong Kong, but a very warm morning nonetheless. And Jimmy was reunited with his regular rider, Jonathan Rell, and trainer John Barry. John, when you saw Jimmy for the first time in a few weeks this morning, what was your initial reaction?
Yeah, very happy actually. Probably relieved more than anything. He'd just not travelled as well as we'd like, and more so just that he's in a barn on his own, and he is a horse that likes a lot of company and at times, and you know, intelligent horse. But no, he's good. Look, he's put another 1.5 kilos on yesterday, and he's very close. I think he's just short, a couple of kilos short of when he left Australia. So onwards and upwards. His coat looks fantastic, and he's in great nick, and just eating some of the biggest feeds that we can throw at him.
So was that the first time you'd seen him since Emirates Day?
Yes, it was. Yep. So like I say, pleasantly surprised that, you know, it's always a worry. You come a long way and it's a big trip and against good racing, good company. So you want to be 100% and just really thrilled with him.
Who's been looking after the horse in the interim here?
Sue Hall, she's the lady that travels with him all the time. She, you know, very protective of him, and probably that's why the reports, you know, if he's not 100% or 110%, I get every report. But she's been there, and my main guy, Aaron Curry's been up here riding him as well. And so, you know, they've been happy enough. They've just been ticking him over, and you know, today's hit out was answered a lot of questions for us.
Well, let's talk about that hit out. What exactly did you ask of him?
Look, we just wanted to go from the 1400 metre mark. The cones are right out, you're right on the outside rail, so he's had a good stretch of the legs, and I just, you know, much the same as you always do, just what Jimmy wants to do, you do. So under the stopwatch, he's just run 12.5 every furlong and 11.5 for the last 200, but he's done it well. To me, you know, I just look at the way he's moving and the way, you know, Jonathan, the way he feels, and we're both very happy.
Was there the option to work him in company like he did prior to the Cox Plate?
I think we've learnt from that mistake in another country. We just felt we didn't need to, and dare I say it, the Cox Plate one was my stuff up, no one else's but mine, and should have been on his own that day too. But no, he was, you know, he's done it well, and Jonathan said, geez, he just grabbed the bit beautifully down the back and just like, come on, let's roll. So, you know, we're good.
So the race is Sunday. What do you do with him prior to then?
He just have a cruise around tomorrow. Look, we'll run in just a sharp 600 like we normally do with him on the Friday, and then we will just get him out to hack around again on Saturday, only because he's boxed, you know, 24/7. So he'll be doing that. But the little 600 sharpener, that'll be his mix main go on the Friday.
So John, how different is this for you campaigning a horse here in Hong Kong as opposed to Sydney or Melbourne?
It's obviously the travel, it's the biggest thing, and no paddocks. I'm a big, you know, I love my horses to get out in paddocks and have a pick, and I watch them in the paddocks to see how they're moving, so that's probably the biggest difference. But other than that, you know, the feed's good, just trying to keep the horse happy and entertained is a big go. You know, a good old gelding would be fine, but we've got a colt and an intelligent one at that, so yeah, he's got a radio, he's got an iPod in there with him, and his mirror, so he's all right, just all right. Look, you wouldn't want to be here for any longer than what we're here, I'd say. So
it could be a nervous few days, or as nervous as a John Barry might get?
Yeah, to be honest, I was probably more nervous before I saw him work today. I'm like I said, I'm relieved and quietly confident now that all I want to do is to front up with a real good New Zealand breed and show the rest of the world what we do down there. And if we can do that, you've got to be at 100% to take these guys on, and a lot of that field is, you know, from Hong Kong, so it's their hometown, much like back in New Zealand when everyone comes down to Hastings to take Jimmy on, it's his hometown, he's doing no travelling, so we've come the furthest, but we believe we've got, you know, one of the best.
John Barry's very good with the media, and there's plenty here, including Australians, and they haven't got a horse of their own to cheer, so they're cheering for Jimmy Choux. They're calling him an Australasian horse, and hey, why not? He's been a Group 1 winner on both sides of the Tasman. I tell you what, I've only printed off part of what's available, and I'm pretty daunted by this, but they do look after the media, and there's lots of information. But through all the jockey profiles, the very best jockeys of both hemispheres, this is what's printed for Jonathan Rell. And I guess we could say, well, we know why. He's not a Douglas White. but in many respects, his story is the most remarkable of all. He suits Jimmy, and Jimmy suits him. Well, Jonathan, you've just climbed off Jimmy's shoe, and the first time you've been on him for a few weeks. What's your initial reaction?
Yeah, no, it was itchy feet to get on him. A long time since the Emirates when I jumped off him there. He felt super. He worked really fluently and did the work that we really needed him to do.
I guess like John, there's probably a bit of trepidation seeing him in another environment like this. It's a whole new thing again.
Oh, definitely. It's yeah, and it's like John's probably been a while since he's seen him as well, and it's sort of more seeing him, giving him a pat and getting on him, and yeah, and just feeling a little bit sorry for him stuck in the quarantine down there. But once he got out on the track, yeah, no, he's super.
Did he recognise you?
I'd like to think so, yeah.
Once you got out there, did he feel like the Jimmy that you rode leading into the Cox Plate in the Emirates?
Yeah, well, leading to the Cox Plate is well documented. His gallop on the Tuesday there wasn't that good, but yeah, no, he felt great. Once I got on that track and got over his neck, and so we got down the back straight and started working into the work. He pricked his ears and put his head down and did the work, and yeah, no, it was sort of on par with what he usually does, yeah.
You're pretty much working to a clock, but is it really a case of Jimmy just being Jimmy and doing what he does?
Yeah, I've found that with Jimmy, and he sort of knows. We just sort of keep him at a pace that he's happy, and he knows he has to do the work, and it just makes your job easy, and he sort of runs the times a bit quicker than probably sometimes you need to, but he does it good.
How well did he hit the line?
He hit the line strongly, yeah. Usually after his gallops, he lets out a few breaths, and for someone that hasn't seen it before, it doesn't sound that good, but today his deep breaths weren't as big as what they were. He had a little puff, but yeah, no, he's hit the line strong.
And now as you look ahead to the race on Sunday, is it something that you've thought about much so far, or are you leaving that till later in the week?
As it'll lot be developed by the barrier draws, but as the race itself, yeah, I've been excited for five weeks, I suppose. So yeah, no, it's just good to be here, and yeah, as like the barrier draws are going to be the telling factor, and what happens will be, and just yeah, hopefully we get a good draw.
What is it like for Jonathan Rell? I mean, okay, you've been to Sydney and Melbourne, ridden against some top jockeys and some top races, but this is another level again, it feels.
Oh, definitely. This horse is taking us to those levels, yeah, and I don't know. I feel that you just can't let it overrule you. They are the champion jockeys, I suppose you could put it, but if you look at them that way, that you're going to be intimidated by it. So no, at the end of the day, they're just riders like myself, and they're out there doing the job, and yeah, no, I'll push them around as much as they want to push me.